we saw the stage directions, the how the playwright was describing the scene, how he was describing what is going to happen in the theater. And these things, while we are reading the text, we have to imagine all these things that he was kind of writing. But of course, if we are audiences in the theater, we would be just seeing these things on stage. So in the first part of the lecture, I shared with you the text, and we were seeing how everything was going on. Okay, and now I'd like to share with you the some performances of the play and how the play was starting. Okay, so if I may, okay, so I am sharing this with you, this performance. Can you see it or?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is just the beginning, and you see what the writer was saying. This is Willy Loman. You see how we have upstairs and downstairs. You see the bedroom, and this is like the kitchen. Now he's in the kitchen, and can you hear the dialogue between the characters?
No.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I can't.
Okay. Anyway, if you can see the picture, you can see this is kind of in the center, like the kitchen, and on the left we have the bedroom, and we have Linda and Willie speaking. And what is important is in the we have the bedroom of the boys of Willie, of Biff and Happy. Okay, so you see that this is what I really wanted to show you. And like this is another picture. Sorry, this is another performance of the play. You see here, Willie was speaking with Linda. Okay, and they are speaking and speaking. Okay, and later on, if we go on, we'll see the boys. Okay, so as audience, you can see different things at the same time. You can see things that are happening downstairs. The conversation between the dialogue between Willie and Linda, and upstairs you can see Biff and Happy, and they were speaking, of course, and we assume that they do not hear what is going on between Linda and Willie, and Linda and Willie, we assume, are not hearing Biff and Happy. Okay, so what I wanted to show really is the what I wanted to show you is the the scenery, how things are done on the stage in the theater. So we have kind of a strange structure in this play, like because we have different things that are happening at the same time. So they are, in order to show that the directors work on different places in the theater. So they make, for example, the living room between, the living room in which, and the kitchen in which the dialogue between Willie and Linda is taking place. They make it downstairs, okay, and the bedroom of Linda, of Biff and Happy is located upstairs. And also, if you read um, the stage directions of Arthur Miller, who was saying that there is stairs, okay, and so these stairs kind of link the downstairs and the upstairs. And what the downstairs where the dialogue between Linda and Willie is taking place, on the upstairs where the dialogue between Biff and Happy is taking place. And until then, when Biff and Happy come downstairs, we see the four characters speaking together. So I wish that makes it clear to you. Is it clear, or still it is kind of difficult to imagine what is going on?
It's clear, Doctor. It's very clear.
Okay.
But from the film of Dustin Hoffman, it's very, I think, more clear. There are two copies. One of them translated and one of them not translated, I think. Both of them, they are very Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, with Hoffman, yeah. Of course, yes, in the movie you cannot see everything just like because when Arthur Miller was writing, he was writing for a theater. He did not write a script for a movie. He wrote a script
but you can see
it
is not like a movie. It is not like a movie. Even how they were acting, it's not like exactly a movie.
Yes, they try to keep the idea as much closer
of
to
the theater. Yes.
Yes, to theater. Okay, but I think in theater it is even clearer, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And because in theater we could kind of divide the stage into different parts, like for example left and right, up and down, and we make different things happen in these different parts at the same time. So this is what makes it interesting. And maybe, for example, if you are watching it in a theater, maybe you're kind of confused because there are like two pairs of characters and two dialogues going on at the same time. Do you imagine that or not? We have Biff and Happy speaking upstairs, and Linda and Willie speaking downstairs. And it might be difficult to follow two conversations or two dialogues that are going on at the same time, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so this is kind of the kind of complexity. But you see, the directors are playing with it. The directors are kind of trying to manage that by means of music sometimes, and mainly by means of the lighting. So do you know how to manage that with the lighting? Could you notice the difference in lighting in these two performances that I've just shown you?
Yes, I think they focus on one area and then shed the light on it.
Good.
When the part is talking.
Very good. So when the conversation is taking place between Willie and Linda, the lighting is focused on Willie and Linda, and the boys' location is dimmed. Okay, is darkened. There is no light on that. So as if the director is trying to tell us, just focus here and forget about the boys. Okay, and when the boys are speaking, the lighting goes to the boys. Okay, and the part of Linda and Willie is dimmed and darkened. Okay, as if the director is saying to us, focus on the boys' conversation and forget for a moment about Willie and Linda. Do you understand the idea?
Yes,
Yes, we do.
yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, it's understood.
Very clear.
Good. So you see, it's kind of creative, and you see, you know, what you can do with the theater. Like, you know, although the theater is difficult. Writing for a theater is not just writing for a play. Oh, sorry, for writing a story.
Yeah.
You understand that? Because
Yes.
you
Yes.
cannot just come and write anything. You have to imagine, as a writer, you have to imagine the stage, and you have to imagine where everything you are writing fits on the stage. Do you understand
limited,
that or not?
Yes.
Yeah, because
limited area and space.
very good, a limited area, and you have to make the most of that limited area. يعني المفروض تستغلها للأخير يعني, and you have to make the most of the tools that you have got, like, for example, the music, the lighting, and other things, okay, in the theater, where you can direct the attention of the audience. And you remember previously when you were in year one, I spoke about that. I spoke about the difference between theater and even cinema. You remember that or not?
Not exactly, but what,
well,
doctor?
was ذاك اليوم يعني من كنتوا بالمرحلة الأولى. Yeah, okay. Yes, it's a long time. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes. You remember point of view in fiction?
Yes.
Yeah, because in fiction there is point of view, okay, and point of view is mainly communicated to us by language, okay. So we know that the story is told from the point of view of this character, okay. When, for example, he is speaking with I, and with for example, when we have first person narrator, okay, we know that we are seeing the action from the point of view of this character, okay. So in the fiction, we depend on language in order to know from whose point of view we are seeing the action.
Yes.
Okay. In the movies, there is point of view, and how do we know from whose point of view? And which tools are the movie directors using in order to show us the point of view that we have to focus on? Yani they need us to focus on something.
They move the scene.
Sorry?
They move the scene.
No, the camera.
I mean, they show the faces of the character remote.
Good. Mainly it is the camera. Do you understand that or not? Okay, so it is the camera that is telling us what to see and what not to see. So the camera is telling us where to focus and where not to focus. Yeah, so it is helping us really, okay, and it saves our energy. Like we do not need to see everything, and so every time in a movie we are focused on one thing. We don't focus on everything. But the problem with theater, and when you enter theater and you're an audience, there is no language which tells you where, like in fiction, what is the point of view of the character, because every character is using the first pronoun I. You understand that? And there is no camera also to direct us. Do you understand the idea? So theater is less difficult or more difficult to understand?
So the actions of the actors, I think will show us.
More difficult.
It is more difficult. It is more difficult. Why? Because there are no tools to help us. There are no tools to guide us to see what the director wants us to see exactly. It's not just like in a cinema. In the cinema, he is moving our eyes with the camera, okay? But there is no camera we are the camera, okay? So for the theater director, in order to help the audience focus on a certain point of view, he is using the tools that he has or she has in their disposal, like, as we said, the music and the lighting. And these are the main two things. Is that clear or not?
The whole scenario. Yes, the whole scenario with the light, with the
Good.
colors,
So,
with everything.
yes. So it is the lighting which tells us where to focus. We have to focus where the lighting is. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is very innovative. It's very creative, with theater directors to do that. And it is happening live. There is no, with cinema, you see, they can reshoot. They shoot a scene and there is a mistake and they shoot again and so on. And some scenes might be shot for tens of times, right? In the cinema. قد يصورون شيء وتالي يطلع به غلط ويصورونه مرة ثانية وثالثة. But in a theater, you cannot reshoot really, because you have to get it right from the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, so you cannot tell the audience, sorry, this was wrong and we will repeat that. No, the audience don't have time to just sit and see your mistakes. Okay, so this is the technical part that I wanted you to pay attention to when you are reading the play. Okay, and I think this makes it, later it will get more complicated when we have Willy Loman and when we have characters from the past like Ben and the others and Charlie and the conversations from the past, his imagination and so on. And we'll see how to understand them. In this lecture, I wanted mainly to help you understand the kind of strange structure of the play. Like maybe you did not come across such a structure. That's why it might sound difficult for you. So I am interested to know if you have any questions or any additions or any thoughts about what we have read and what we have seen in this lecture. You can wave your hand, of course, if you have something. Yeah, anyone? Any questions or any additions?
May I ask question,
Okay,
Doctor?
I have Mariam. Please, Mariam.
Yes.
Yes,
Because
go
of the
on.
poor connection, I couldn't understand the confusion. I think you mentioned something about confusion regarding the separation between the past and the present. I didn't understand the idea. How can we separate everything? Yes.
Okay, we did not come to this confusion. We will face that in the future. We said there is a confusion because we have Willy Loman and he is speaking in the present about Linda and so on, but he also remembers things in the past. So we see things that happen in the present and we see things that happen in the past at the same time. Okay, and this will be confusing later for us because in one scene, for example, Willy Loman was playing cards with Charlie and he was speaking with Charlie and suddenly he remembers Ben. Okay, and he imagines that Ben, his brother, was standing beside him. Yes, and he was speaking with Ben, and Charlie was thinking that Willy Loman was speaking to him. Okay, so he was asking him, "What do you mean? What are you saying?" and so on. Well, he was really speaking to Ben. Okay, so we see that is confusing for that, and we see later how, for example, we can understand it from the text, how we can understand it from a theatrical performance, and how we can understand it from a movie. Okay, so don't worry about this confusion now. Now just we have two conversations that we are going to see in the next lecture between when Happy and Beth are speaking, and at the same time Linda and Willie are speaking.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you are welcome. Selma, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I was asking about the 3 chairs and the 3 walls. The significance about these symbols, I think. The 3 chairs, I think the mother, the father, and Happy, I think
yes.
the younger son. And the last one, because he was the
yes,
major
he was
problem.
absent, like, yes.
Yes, That's why there is no, because he was away and then he came back.
Yes,
but they
it is
never
a symbol. Yes, it is a symbol that the family is not complete.
Something problem, and also
there is a
three walls.
problem. Good. When
So
it's not all the members of the families. A missing chair means
chairs.
there is a
Missing
problem.
something inside.
Yes.
Willie.
Good.
And also the three walls. Do you think the three walls also refer to the same thing as the three chairs?
No.
I mean, there is, or it is broken. That means something refer to the same problem between Willie and his son.
No, the three walls, it's something that is related to theater in general, okay? And with the realistic theater, المسرح الواقعي, we say the fourth wall is broken. يعني,
in front of the audience.
Yes, good. You can't imagine theater like that. There are people who are sitting in their own house and you are kind of spying on them.
Yeah.
This is what theater is, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yes.
So, people are sitting and speaking and going and coming and so on, and they do not know that there is somebody who is watching them. Who is that somebody? We, the audience. Do you understand that or not? But in order to watch them, in order to be able to watch them, if there are four walls, we cannot watch them. What do we need? We need to break the fourth wall. Okay? So that it is a room with three walls, with the fourth wall broken, and it is through this broken fourth wall that we, the audience, can see what is going on inside that room.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
It's the same concept that when we think that whatever we are doing, there are somebody
great.
watching us, God or our conscious or whatever. We have this feeling. Whatever we are doing, there is somebody at our life.
Now we are sitting in our own rooms, right? Okay, and in my room, for example, there are four walls and there is a ceiling. يعني أكو 4 جدران وأكو سقف مو؟ So this is what I'm saying.
Maybe there is satellite. Okay. There are satellite or something.
Okay. Now regarding the construction, so nobody is able to spy on me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but maybe there is somebody who is able to kind of go through these walls, and somebody with some abilities that enable him or her to go through the walls, okay, and spy on me and sees what I am doing right now. You understand that or no? Okay, so so you can see all literature as kind of spying. Like we are spying on other people, and this is why literature is beautiful. Why we see literature as enjoyment, because we can see what other people are hiding. Because in real life, we cannot see through the lives of other people, right? We cannot know what other people are doing or thinking and so on. But in literature is beautiful.
We always compare. We always compare, yes.
No, literature is beautiful because it gives us access to other people's lives. Do you understand that?
Others' life.
Yes, because we are curious. We want to know.
To compare, we have.
Good.
Yeah,
okay,
we have
so,
to.
Yes, so always, if you see a theater.
If we are in their shoes, what will happen to us?
So, a theater, and if you can imagine a theater, it's just a room with 3 walls. يعني هي غرفة مثلث حيطان، الحائط الرابع تم تحطيمه. اوكي، شنو السبب؟ المفروض احنا نقدر to see through it، نقدر نرى او نتجسس من خلاله. This is what theater is like if you think about it. So always we have the broken fourth wall. Okay. Thank you, Selma. Others, do you have any question?
Thank you, sir.
Any questions? Abbas, do you have any question? Okay, others, any more questions or everything is clear? Hmm. Okay, so let me ask a question. You have seen the kind of first 2 or 3 pages of the play. How would you compare it with Waiting for Godot? Are there any differences that you can see between this play and Waiting for Godot? Okay, so Hajar, I think, wants to say something.
Yes. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, go on.
In Waiting for Godot, we have the dialogue was so unclear and uh,
Yeah.
and uh, here we can understand the problem. We can understand the situation. They are talking clearly, I think.
Okay, good. Okay, so the dialogue, you mean the dialogue is logical and it's moving from one topic logically to another, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. There is a dialogue. The dialogue is understandable. There are kind of full sentences. Yes, very good. Thank you, Hajar. Okay, Abbas, I think.
Yes, hello, sir.
Hello, Abbas.
So the difference is that mainly is the plot is different. So it's rather linear rather than cycles like Waiting for Godot, where there is a story behind each character. We have a begin and end. We can put a line to it. Rather than Waiting for Godot, it's not interesting to see what happened. Is the same thing over and over. And
Good. Yes,
for the
good.
dialogue
That's
also
yeah.
is here is very full sentences. Uh, Nothing is repeated. A lot of things are different in this play.
Okay, so that makes it easier to follow, you think, Abbas, than Waiting for Godot?
Yeah, I think it's more easier than Waiting for Godot. Waiting for Godot stands there's a whole new ideas behind it. You can have a severe critiques on it, different perspective, how you're gonna define each character or the ideas, what's meant by that and what meant by this move. But rather than this story, it seems like it's attached more to the our lifestyle,
Okay,
so
thank you,
we can
Abbas.
relate to it.
Yeah, I think Aqil wants to say something. Aqil, and we are running out of time, so we might be cut in some minutes. Aqil.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Aqil.
So the comparison between Waiting for Godot and this play, it is in Waiting for Godot, they have speak about some silly things from the beginning that we cannot rely on, but behind every simple thing that we're discussing, there is a hidden information, a hidden knowledge about it. And even about the structure, there were a short sentence and incomplete sentence. But in this play, there's everything is so clear that we have a wife, love her husband,
Well, it
and
might. Yes.
admires him. And we have Willie, which is he is a representative of many men and many men in our world. So it's very clear, straightforward, nothing complex about it. Even the dialogue, even the sentence, it's from our modern world, you know.
Okay. Well, yes, you're right. And One other difference is the stage directions. You see how the writer is giving too much information with the first page and a half or just stage directions, and he is giving many things that we as audience might need to understand the play. Something that we saw missing in Waiting for Godot.
Yeah.
Okay, but it might not be the case that it is very straightforward. Still, there are some hidden meanings and so on. And maybe with the passage of time, we'll have more ability to look into these hidden meanings. It's very deep play. The simplicity of this play is misleading. Like you think that it's simple and so on, but in reality, it is not. And when later on we'll dive into the criticism of the play, we'll see that the play has too much to say, and there are too much ideas to speak about in this play. Okay, thank you, Aqil. Thank you very much. Anyone else before we finish this? Okay, Sarah. Sarah. Are you there? Okay, Karar.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hello, Karar.
So what I'm trying to say is what I've tried to say. Now, we have a high sense of logic, then we have reason. So I remember when Waiting for Godot, the boy, when we saw the boy, he told Estragan and Vladimir that he was being hit by Godot,
Yeah,
right?
it was
But there is no reason. Yeah. It was just beating him. Okay, no reason. We can see it from many perspectives, whether he's bad or good. Okay, whether he done something bad or not. So, but in Death of Salesman, we have reason. Though it's silly, but there's reason. When Willie says to his sons that they should be in good appearance and a proper way to look, okay? So to be with people. Now, there is a silly reason, but there is a reason. You understand me?
I do.
Yeah, so there's a reason or logic here.
Good. Yes. Yeah, there is reason. And yeah, as we said, we have causes that lead to consequences, and there is a logical connection between cause and effect, something that was a kind of missing in Waiting for Godot. So that might make the play more palatable than Waiting for Godot. So we can follow it, we can read it, we can understand it, maybe without need to criticism. But with Waiting for Godot, no, we have to go to critics in order to tell us what all these things are about. Thank you, Karar. Sarah, are you with us?
Yeah. Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes, I do.
Yes, we have been waiting for Godot about the setting. The setting in Waiting for Godot is not clear, and even the time and place we are not sure about them. Like the time is not settled, not even the place. But here we have a certain time and a certain place as well. And we have also, I think the plot is a kind of the actions are running in more fluent and seem to be relevant to us, unlike in Waiting for Godot. They seem to be not connected and mean nothing to us.
Good. Yes. Very good. Yes. Yeah. With the setting, you are very right. Okay. Yes. Like we have a specific time and a specific place where the action is happening. Okay. While in Waiting for Godot, everything is just general. We do not know in what year everything was taking place. We do not know in which city and which road. No, but here we have even specific. We know, for example, that he is living in New York, that he was going to Florida, that he was driving to Yonkers, and he was selling, for example, in New England, and all these are places that we are familiar with, I suppose. Like yes, and even the time we are familiar with the time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and this makes it kind of accessible to us. Like it is talking about things that we are familiar with. That's why we can understand this play, and we might find it more interesting maybe than Waiting for Godot. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you for everyone for joining, and I'm sorry about the technical problems that happened at the beginning of the lecture. Okay, so have a good time, and happy Eid for everyone.